right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are playing Holler for Savage Worlds tonight, Holler Appalachian Apocalypse. Yeah, we're going to start off with a few characters that and some dire straits, and we'll see how it goes. A couple people made some backup characters just in case. Well, I think one person made a backup character. Everyone else just sort of theorized it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're back to that. We've been off for a couple days on the channel, so it's cool to be back. I don't remember how anything works, so if it's probably 50-50 on whether anyone can possibly hear us on the stream. Yeah, I mean, this, like I said before, might not even be on the right channel. Who knows? So let's do some intros. Let's get back to playing. So Chuck, tell us about who you're playing for the first 15 minutes tonight.
I'm Double D. I'm going to be playing Double D. I won't punch things. Double D's got a joke for all of you, and I think y'all gonna like it. You ready? It's colored. No one saw it yet. No pigment of your imagination. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you got it.
Oh my god.
You're welcome.
Great.
Never mind.
Did you say 10 minutes, Jeff?
10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, Bert. I see.
Is it too soon to end the stream?
I got another one if you all want to keep going. I can keep. I ain't no stop.
Go for it.
Okay.
No.
I got you. How come there's a law that says that, a man can only have one rooster maximum? Because one cockadoodle do.
And now it's
blame
5
my
minutes.
kin.
5 minutes.
That's all I got right now. Y'all can keep going. I done said thanks.
Well, it was nice to see Double D for the final time. Let's go to Dog More. Or wait, no, Dog Less. Sorry, I put up the wrong. I have the wrong character name up there. You're Dog Less now.
It's fine.
No.
I don't think I'll be dogless for very long either.
There you go. So tell us about Dogless.
There's not even all that much to talk about Dogless. He's basically our wilderness guy. And he didn't wilderness so well when we needed him to. So I don't even know he's that.
Dude, okay. All right. And he's also son of Dogmar, which is what the overlay says right now. I don't know if I have it fixed anywhere. So you're Dogmar for tonight. So I told you I screwed something. Because see, I wanted to get Chuck, I want to get your new logo on, but I used like the old overlay or something. I don't know. I'm old.
Yeah,
Stupid.
we'll have to get ready for Dog Equal.
Yeah.
So then we have Dog More, Less than Equal.
I like it. All right, next up we got Double D's younger, larger brother, I think, Cletus.
Yeah, man, I'm Cletus. I'm the big little brother of Double D, except for on account of the shit he been saying done stab me in the soul. I think I'm declaring Yeetus, my dog, to be my only family. Can't stand listening to that nonsense come out of his mouth.
All right.
That's not true. I love him.
That's good. If you would have kept going, I would have told another joke, but I'm glad you stopped.
It's going to be really sad when Cletus reaches the combat area and sees Double D's already dead. Like, how sad is that going to be? Going to walk up, just going to see Double D's body on the ground. Whew.
Well, he can't tell no more jokes if he's dead.
That's fair, which I think is what everyone wants right now.
All
right.
Probably haunt me, though.
Well,
Although you will officially be the superior brother by default.
won't be
That's true.
sneaking around when you're trying to use John and be like, "Ooh, I'm your dead brother."
I'm your dead brother. Little Tommy Knocker just follows Cletus around the whole town. I'm your dead brother. All right, bottom row. Melissa, tell us about Louisa.
So Louisa is our holy roller. So she can smite. I think she did some smiting last time, if I remember correctly. She can smite, she can heal, she can do some relief. Yeah. And sometimes she does her healing stuff when people see it, and that might be bad.
Yeah, sometimes. It depends on who you're around. Depends on where you're at. Some people don't care as much. Some people do. Some people might report you to to some sort of company fella. So others might not. So it's all kind of hit or miss, But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Next up, and again, we're gonna go character names. We have the character Joe, played by the player Bert. Tell us about Joe, Bert.
I'm Joe. I'm mighty handy with the wrench. Not so good at the talking to people and such, but I can fix your stuff. Might be I can drive your stuff too.
Yeah. Joe is also one of the characters that's not currently in terrible danger, as he is underneath the jalopy that they have, doing a little maintenance, middle of the night, but is out of danger currently. Will he run to danger? I don't know. And then finally, we have the player Joe, who is playing Amian, the character.
Yes.
So tell us about Amian.
Yep.
Who's going to die first tonight?
Probably. Yeah, I'm playing Amian, the curious kid with too many bennies, and hopefully he'll get to realize his dream of being some form of detective and not just get instantly murdered by whatever this thing is. But seeing as I failed the check really badly, it's not looking so good so far.
Yeah. And I think, aren't you were the one, I think, who was like sneaking way out in front too. Like, so you were the one kind of.
Yeah, I think it was me and someone else were.
You and Louisa was following you up. I think Double D was then third, and then I think Dogless was like way in the back.
Oh,
so
yeah. I may have been up
those
front. So, yeah.
I think you were up in front. Yeah. All right. So last time you all, you finished up with your Finster Goad stuff from the textile mill. You returned to the Serpent Church outside of Ashdown, which has been sort of serving as your headquarters since the speakeasy got shuttered, and you started to debrief LMA, and she told you about what she heard as well. While you were there was this riderless horse that arrived, had clear signs of some kind of violence done to the rider, not necessarily to the horse. Horse seemed fine, spooked. There are all these special coins in these saddlebags that you all pieced together were used to invite folks to this annual Fiddlers Convention. The location shifts to try to avoid Big Boy's attention, but this year it's in Weaver Falls. Ella is kind of encouraging you all to go. Now, there were specific invitations to Cletus and Double D, like their names were referenced on these specific coins, but then there's just a bunch of just normal invitations, so all of you basically can go. There's also an invitation to Ella May, because you all know she's a very good musician, but she can't go because she's got those 6 kids to feed. So she encouraged you all to go because it's a great place to meet dissidents and recruit allies and stuff for the revolution, etc. Because there's other folks there who are going to hate the big boys and trying to get them to help you out or make promises and favors and things. You decided you're going to visit Clarence Jones, a local moonshiner near Ashdown, to try to get one of his vehicles, which was not easy because he was friends with Harley Rice, who got flogged and sent away because he ran the stump bumper speakeasy that y'all got in that fight in. But you managed to talk him into it. You had to promise a few things. I think you had to give up some of your fancy company guard gear that you got from Mort Smith. You also had to promise at some point help Harley Rice to get out. And you had to obviously return the vehicle in good working condition. So you headed out. You went up to the Ghost Ridge Mountains, which is part of the direction there. And you ran into some troubles. The mountain path that you were on was kind of blocked by some kind of, it looked like a mountains, some sort of rubble kind of got in the way. While backtracking, you noticed 2 things. One, there's a convoy of trucks that were carrying prisoners, company guards, and this was kind of fearsome, Kramer Holt agents, because you guys would know that Kramer Holt agents are definitely a step or 2 above just your run-of-the-mill company guards. They are nothing to kind of sneeze at here. And then the second thing you noticed that there was this crying woman off the side of the road. Cletus, you started to scout the trucks. Joe, you hid the car from the convoy, kind of a little bit off the road, and you started doing some maintenance. And the other 4, you all started to sneak up on the crying woman, and unfortunately, you weren't as stealthy as she was perceptive, as her notice roll kind of discovered y'all. And her cries were disrupted. She got really angry. She whipped around, looked at you all, and she had blood just pouring down from her. She looked messed up, like she was in some kind of old dress and kind of a wreath on here and there. And she let out this keening wail that just stunned, I think, almost everybody but Dogless that was in that front 4. And the rest of you started bleeding at your ears. Now, y'all took damage, but off air, we did do our soak rolls, I think, and no one ended up actually taking any wounds from the damage that she did from the Keening Whale. But we're going to start up right there, and I think I have a map for this one. So I'll pull y'all over, and we can kind of get started. So, yeah, right off the bat, we're just going to jump right into old combat. I figure that's the best way to do this, right?
It's just straight to the murder.
That's
murder.
a way to do it, for sure.
Yep. All right. So a couple things. So there's going to be a few things to pay attention to here. First of all, like I was saying as we were coming on, like good news, bad news situation. Both Joe, the character, and Cletus were far enough away as to not hear the whale. But because they were so far away, they're not going to be able to get into combat right away. Joe, you'll be able to get in on round 2. Cletus, you'll be able to get on round 3, assuming you all are moving at all due haste towards like the screams of your allies, right? So Joe,
Or
you're
that
not going
we
to be
even live that long.
Sure, yeah. So like, so that's sort of the deal. That's how I kind of worked it out to make it somewhat fair and consistent with what we got here. The second thing is I need everybody in the front 4 group to roll a spirit test at -2, as this is the fear roll. As now that she has whipped around and she's looking at you and she looks like this partial woman, torn up face, everything's looking awful. Bennies have all been refreshed if you want to use them.
So we need a 4 or better.
Yep. Usual deal. And again, it's at -2.
I rolled off my new character.
Oh gosh.
We're not there yet.
Saul. Okay. Oh, I guess this better.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that because Saul has way better spirit than Double D.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Yep.
Get a few things ready.
I'm gonna
Okay,
have to
that's
roll
more like
perfect
it.
to pass this.
Go figure.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So, did anyone fail?
Yeah.
I did.
I got
Okay,
a
how about this?
-1.
What do we
Did
need to
anyone
hit?
pass?
4.
4? Okay. Yeah, I passed.
Okay. So,
Oh my
so
gosh, you got an
Amian,
8.
Amian, you're solid, no problem. Here, you got a raise as well. All right. So, this is
Actually, it was -2 for distracted plus a -2 for the test.
yes, it's a -2 for the fear test. Yeah.
Was it? It's like -2, -4
Minus-
total.
Yeah.
Yeah,
-4
so you would have
total.
had a 6.
The -2
Okay,
is
6.
something different. The -2 is like because basically there's a
Okay.
fear. Certain creatures have fear ratings, and you have to roll spirit tests, like fear tests
Okay.
against them. Some of them are so frightful to look at that there's actually a flat negative penalty to it, and that's what that -2 is for. This is a tough creature.
Okay.
Steven paid for this last time, so that's what happened. Okay, so
Yeah.
this
Thanks,
is
Steven.
I only got a 6, but I think 6 is still good.
okay. So. All right, so success means a character manages to overcome the situation and carry on. So, Amian, you're okay. You're still suffering from your other stuff, but you're not suffering from fear as well. Failed fear means that you face certain consequences depending on the source of fear. In this case, it's going to be terror. So, a terrifying trigger such as this creature. So, wild cards have to roll in a fear table, and you have to take the penalty at it as well. So, let me pull this up for you guys and I'll share it with you so you can all do it. So again, if the 3 of you that failed, you're going to be rolling this. So if you want to go into the roll tables and just search for fear table, go ahead and roll it. It's all
Got
set
it.
up to roll at -2. So the 3 of you go ahead and roll. Well, 2 of you got vulnerable, and you already were vulnerable, so that's cool. It looks like Douglas, you are frightened. You gain the hesitant hindrance for the remainder of the encounter. So go ahead. You can search for that in the items and drag it onto your sheet so you can kind of see what it does. So that's something that you're going to have to deal with. I think it's 2 action cards, and you take the lower. All right, so I'll add that in as well. All right, so let's begin combat then.
Okay.
Let me remove Douglas and re-add him, since he's got that hesitant hindrance now. So I think it'll do it automatically. That's why. All right, so let's try this again. All right, spam away. Cletus. I put Cletus and I put Joe on the tracker. Again, I'm assuming you're all just like moving at all due haste, so you'll come in on different rounds. It also means you get the chance to get more jokers, which is exactly what happened as Cletus.
Yay.
You draw a
Actually,
joker.
I want to jump in the car and drive the car over.
Okay. It's still going to be a full round, I think, for you to get there, because it's going to be hopping in, starting it up. That's fine. Okay. So, Cletus, you got the Joker. Other than that, it looks like it's going to be Louisa. You're up first.
Oh dear.
Louisa, you are stunned. It's actually a good thing she goes last. It's the best situation for you guys.
All right.
As the creature goes last.
I would like to do some relief.
So you're stunned first, so you have to break your stun first.
You get a free spirit check at the start of your turn.
Exactly.
Okay.
So roll. No, it's a vigor, right? Yeah, vigor for stun, spirit for shaken.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, shaken, not stun.
So go ahead and roll a free. It's a free action vigor test. -2. That's a fail. You can go ahead and Benny that if you want to try again.
A -2 is going to make it hard.
It is. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So
you pretty much have to roll a 6.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the first part.
So you remain distracted, vulnerable. You're technically prone as well, as you're like kind of shaking on your knees. You can't move. You can't take any actions, and you don't count up towards your gang up bonus. So that is the end of Luis's turn, unfortunately. Joe, you'd hop in the car. And you start driving in the direction. So we'll say next round you actually.
Is Amian with me as well?
No, you were the only one left by the car. The
I
other
was the
four,
only one. Okay.
Yeah. So you're in the car. You're driving. Okay, no problem. Double D. I don't know why it doesn't have you as. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I want to turn the headlights on. Just light up the area.
Kick it in neutral.
All right, Double D, you were stunned. I checked my notes. You were stunned.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make that vigor test now.
Yeah.
Free vigor test. Start your turn. That is a pass. So you can go. You can go ahead and unclick. So you can act again. So so what you basically can do. Success means you're no longer stunned. You're going to be vulnerable until the end of your next turn. Okay. It's not a raise, so keep vulnerable checked, but everything else can go away.
And does distracted go away at the end of the turn?
Yeah, it goes away at the end of the victim's next turn, so it's at the end of this turn. Louisa, by the way, I think you can actually remove distracted as well.
It automatically removed at the end of my turn.
Yeah. It's the only thing you should be after this turn. Double D is vulnerable.
Okay. So right now I'm distracted and vulnerable.
And technically prone, I think, actually. I think once you're stunned.
Yes.
You fall.
So I want to regret this. I'm going to do multi-action.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
And I want to... Standing up, does that take a full action?
That sounds consistent with other games we know.
It does, yeah.
Let's see if there's move actions.
Because what I would like to do is I would like to stand up. I would like to move over to her and try and punch her in her ghost face.
Okay, so standing is a free action, but it reduces your total pace for the turn by 2. So what's your normal pace?
Normal pace is 6.
So 6. So you actually don't even have to take multiple actions for movement. As if just standing up will subtract it, give you 4 pace for this turn. So you would still close enough to get to her, and then you could do your normal swing.
Then I'm going to swing twice.
Okay, go right ahead.
I'm gonna. Let's see. I need to hit my fist. So if I do that double action thing you're all talking about, I get to swing 4 times, but each one's at a -2.
Yeah, in this case,
four
it's,
because
it's
you're distracted.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay, then I am
might not be
gonna
the
do
best
that.
round. To do.
Yeah. I
Never
am
mind.
just gonna swing like crazy with 2 fists. So 2 hits. So first one. That is an 8.
Wow.
That will hit, but it's not a raise.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and roll damage on that. Let me select this lady.
Thank you, Adam. Adam gave us a Benny for the group.
Nice. All right. Here's the damage on that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. That is just shaken. Won't
All
actually
right.
do any damage to it.
Yep. And then my second attack. And I've got No, I don't have ambidextrous, so I do take a -2 on this one. I should have taken a -2 on the first one, shouldn't I?
It
No?
still would have hit.
Okay.
Yeah, your second one is where you get the -2 if you don't.
Yeah,
have
it's
that
because it's your
ambidextrous.
offhand. Oh wait, no, it's not because you're offhand. Because doesn't ambidextrous mean you don't have?
Okay, I don't have ambidextrous, so yes. It
Okay.
would be -2 on this one, but not on
Okay.
the first one. I got all confused.
Yep,
All right. That one's going to miss.
that is unfortunately a miss.
I'll Benny it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
look at
There
that.
we are.
That
Oh,
is
Lord.
that is a race. Go ahead and roll
Nice.
damage.
Right.
Wow.
She's already shaken.
What a
Okay.
roll.
Raise.
Oof.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
I will soak. I'll try to soak anyway. I will take nothing, as I will soak all of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Still, I done
Sucks,
tired.
doesn't it? It sucks, doesn't it? You do all that damage, someone soaks it all away. But yeah, I'll use it.
All right, that's what I got. I done punched a
No, that was
ghost in the
great.
face.
Great. She has
What if-
only so many beds. All right, Douglas, you are up and you can act freely as you did not become stunned. You are not distracted. I think it's just the hindrance of like hesitant, which just affects your initiative. I think so. You're good.
I'm free to miss.
Okay.
I'm just gonna come up behind so I can hopefully, get the bonus here.
Yeah, gang up bonus. Sure.
Does it apply automatically or?
Yes, it should.
Okay.
That will be unfortunately a miss with a 5.
Let's just go ahead and Benny it because it's now or dead. So
4
Nope.
is 4 is still a miss.
consistent. I did it, guys, and by that I mean I did what we all expected.
Okay. All right. It's now Amian's turn. So is it automatically rolling something for you? Yeah, it automatically rolled your vigor. So there you go. You are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go. You're no longer stunned. You are still distracted, invulnerable.
So it removes distracted automatically.
It should be at
But
the
it
end
left-
of the distracted should go away at the end of this turn. Vulnerable will be at the end of next turn. At least that's what I read
Okay.
the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you're up. What would you like to do?
All right.
As you see this horrific-looking woman, face covered in blood that's pouring out of her eyes. Looks like some kind of dress, maybe a wedding dress, floral wreath around her head.
I'd like to throw out a theory that this is actually that guy's dead wife and she's come back for revenge for the jokes.
I thought it would be funny to make
Yeah.
an encounter with the dead wife
That'd be pretty good.
after what you all made me do.
Oh.
It is the dead wife. Oh no.
I want to do a taunt of some
Okay.
form to try and like distract them. Hopefully not get them to like target me, but I just want to mess them up. And
Okay. Like how I want to taunt it, but not, effectively.
just like hurt its feelings enough that it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Look over
Wanna
there. It's your
distract it.
husband and daughter. That kind of distraction.
I think this will probably. I mean, I think it's. I don't know if there's. Is there a specific? I know there's intimidate. Is there a specific taunt?
there is a-
actually
there
no,
is a
there is
taunt
taunt.
skill.
There's taunt. Yeah, I thought so. So there's taunts. Is there a taunt action? Trying to see if there's
I don't
a
know.
taunt action.
Yeah, they've got a whole section for it where you can leave people to where they either get minuses to their actions or
Is it
it's easier to
contested?
hurt them.
So like contested
Yes.
versus their spirit is what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and roll, and I'll roll a spirit as well.
I'm gonna Benny that.
Okay. That is a no good with a 3. Rolled a 5 on its spirit test. What is it you say that is unfortunately ineffective?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna say I like the other dead wife better.
Okay. And she just weeps and then turns at you, and you have the feeling that she's going to come full attack you 3 times.
Oh, great.
Okay. I'm just kidding about that part. All right. It's just double checking something. Okay. So she is next. I will roll. I will spend a Benny to unshake automatically. Actually, no. No, I'm fine. I rolled a 10. What am I talking about?
Character is shaking.
Look above it. You can see above it the roll. The roll was a 10.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah. I don't know why it's weird. I'm not sure why it's looking like that. Okay. So it's going to go next.
Now, if it moves away to Damien, that's kind of a nice thing for the team.
2 opportunity attacks.
Oh, it's not going to.
No.
It's going to do 2 things. So, all right. So you went backwards with it, Chuck. You're vulnerable but not distracted. Okay.
Okay. That was just the sheet. Did
yeah.
it.
Okay. So. All right. So as the 2 of you have come up close to it and started wailing on it, it's going to take multiple action here and do 2 things. It's going to. Okay. It's going to first scream again. And so this is going to be. What is this? This is a focus test for me. So I'll roll my focus. All of you go ahead and make spirit tests. Those of you within listening distance. So the 4 of you again.
No, I don't want to.
7 is your target, by the way. Not
good.
a normal 4.
Gracious.
Louisa, you're good.
Yay.
I done made it. I got a 9.
What? Where did it come from?
Why is it not rolling mine?
Okay, so Amian
yours was
and
a 2,
Douglas.
Amian.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I don't see
I wanna
yours, Chuck.
I'll throw a Benny on it.
It's there. It's between Douglas's and Louisa's.
That's a 9.
I see you got a 9.
Why am I not seeing this? So weird. Let me switch over to the other one. Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know why it's not showing up on my GM. That's so weird. Okay,
I don't
I see it on the
think
other
I've
one.
rolled
here.
anything higher than 4
Okay,
today.
so Louisa, Double D, you're both okay. Douglas and Amian, you are both stunned again. So go ahead and take that. Then it's going to turn towards Douglas, and it's going to. I'm sorry, it was actually a 5. So Amian, you're fine because of the -2 from my multi-action penalty. But Douglas, you're still screwed. So it's going to turn to Douglas, and it's going to bite at you as its eyes are bleeding. It opens its mouth wide. You see these sharp, almost talon-like teeth piercing out of its gums, and it's going to try to stamp down and just bite you in your face. It's like pulling you in, like it's kind of give you a kiss, but as it gets close, its mouth opens wider than it should, and it tries to munch down on your face. So this is a -2.
Oh no, that sounds horrifying.
That will hit with your because you're -2. Because you're should be done with that. I will Benny it to try to do better. Because I want to kill someone.
Oh, that was
Out of all the
better.
people to kill, it would have to
I
be
know,
me.
I feel bad that it's you, Dan, but I also know that it's probably easiest if it's you. So let me go ahead and roll for these two.
Oh my.
Oh.
I rolled shit for damage, though, so there's that. All right, so you are now, in addition to the many other things that you were, are now also shaken. Okay, so we'll go to the next round of combat. Let's see.
Am I allowed to try and get out of that, or is that just something that happens on my turn?
On your turn, you can spend a Benny at any point. All right, Joe, you're first up. No jokers this round. Joe, you got the car. You're driving. We'll put you kind of as the car comes up. I made a token for it. As the car comes up, and you can see that there are you can see some of your allies here are kind of swinging away at this like ghostly woman. You can see that Douglas has fallen to the ground and is just sort of reaching up to sort of try to push this woman's face from ripping his own.
If I see the thing, yeah.
Just go ahead and run me over. It's
I mean,
fine.
there's two people that are right in melee combat.
Right, so I understand that. But so like what I want to try and do is to have Joe kind of come in there and kind of weave as best he can, and then kind of fishtail so the back end of the car kind of slams the thing. Then yell for everybody to get the heck in.
Nothing can go wrong.
There is no way that happens without hitting somebody that's next to them, because they're
And if you hit
flanking
me,
her, or
that's
they're on
fine.
either sides. Like I don't see it possible for you to do that without hitting at least one of the allies.
I literally can't do anything, so you're welcome to hit me.
Aw.
So you can make a driving test to try to accomplish this. So you can roll driving, totally fine, and as long as as long as you're successful, like you can do it. But you're gonna hit. You can see it on the map. I don't see any way you.
But
hit.
it's melee. I mean, they're not static. I mean, they're.
Bert, I don't think it's
Never
gonna happen,
mind.
man.
All right.
It's not gonna happen, man.
Take my
You're not
phone.
using a sniper shot car on like a person who's being flanked. Like they're all within 5 feet of each other.
You can
Your car
just
is
run me
wider than
over.
5
All right. Well,
feet,
you know what?
so-
I'm just going to get as close as I can with the high beams on, focused on that thing, and
Okay.
just try to get right in there and yell it to everybody to get in.
Yeah. Again, I'm fine if you want to make it. Like you can make a driving test. I just feel like it's gonna have to hit one of them. Like you could skew it to hit Double D. You can skew it to hit Douglas, but one of them is gonna be taking that as well. It's your call.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. So you move the car up, you weave up, plop it right about there. You call out,
and just
tell
get
everyone to
the
get in.
high beams on and try to blind the thing if at all possible.
Okay, fair enough. Louisa, you're up next. It's automatically rolling. Looks like your stun is fine again. And you see as the car has pulled up,
Yeah.
you hear at this point Joe saying, "Get in the chopper," or whatever it is you call it. And what do you want to do? You have your turn.
I do. So I think I still want to try to do some relief here.
Douglas is probably the one who's in most dire
exactly.
need. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to mosey on over that away and see if I can do some of that. So that is going to be a faith.
Oh my.
Nice. Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a 21.
What do all of that? What does that do for him?
So this is going to be a recover option within relief. because I'm trying to get rid of the conditions that he's got.
Okay.
So a raise on the skill removes 2 conditions of shaken, distracted, or vulnerable.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me try and spend my Benny real quick to see if I can get rid of shaken then, and then I can get rid of distracted and
Well,
vulnerable, I guess.
Benny automatically removes shaken, and you get a free chance to roll spirit at the start of your turn to see if you can get rid of shaken.
Okay.
If you fail, you can always spend a Benny to get rid of it. So,
Okay, so I'll get rid of distracted and
yeah,
vulnerable.
so it's distracted and vulnerable is basically
which
what
I
you're-
can't get rid of because I'm stunned.
But I can spend an additional power point to get rid of stunned
Okay, that's fine.
because it's not a ongoing effect.
Yes, it's not because she has
So
every
I can
time
get
she
rid of it.
screams, this is happening. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so all right, so all you are now, Douglas, is shaken. You're technically still prone, but as we said with Chuck, like it's just a -2 to your pace to get up.
And can I also get in the car, or did I
Yeah,
already
that's
do
fine.
my movement? So I'd have to wait till next time.
No, I'm fine. Like, cause like your move action can get you, cause he pulled up right next to everybody. You can hop in the car, no problem.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right, she's gonna go next. You know what I forgot that you have to do there? Did you take you took damage last time, right? Douglas, like I made you shaken, right?
Yeah.
I need you to roll. Hang on one second. I need you to also roll. This is something. Don't worry. This isn't gonna. This isn't going to. Yeah, it's a blight effect. So roll spirit. Worst thing this would do is stun you. But since she's removing, but she's already she would have removed it, so it's no big deal. Okay, you're fine. So no problem there. You're good there. Okay. So then I think what she's going to do on her turn. Let's see.
Attack me while I'm down. It's the right thing to do.
It really is. But Double D is also technically still vulnerable, so I'm going to split my attacks. So first attack. So again, I'm going to do 2 attacks, multi-action penalty. I'm going to do first attack on old Douglas here. Oops, -2. That's a mess. I will use a GM Benny to take another shot at that. Nope, as I just can't seem to get Douglas as you're rolling around. She's okay. Turns to Double D then because she's sick and tired of this bullshit and goes after Double D. Reaches up, tries to grab his face, tries to just gag me. Something like that. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
All right. I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything. Positive
The rolls.
Positive thoughts. Yeah.
Wow. Those are
Game,
ones.
Game hates us equally.
Yeah. All right, Douglas, it is your turn. You need to spend a Benny to come from shaking since your spirit roll looks like it failed.
Yep. How do
Okay.
I can get up, I think, and then just make it over. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and attack and then move, just so I can.
Mm-hmm. Your pace is -2, so whatever your pace is, it's going to be -2 for that. So that's how many steps you have. So you can probably get. I mean, like assuming
Can
let's
get
see.
right to the car, I think.
Yeah, basically. You can get to it, not necessarily go in the car yet. Like you're right at
Can
the
you
door.
split?
Doors open, trying to dive inside, something like that.
Can you split movement? Like if I got up and then attacked and then walked?
You could do it between movement actions. I know that if you take more than one movement action. We'll say yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it's going
I don't care.
to do
Yeah.
anything. I just want
Yeah,
to try and
it's
attack something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yay!
That doesn't do anything.
That is a miss. Her parry is 6.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
you need a
that's
6
fine.
to hit her. Okay. All right, so you step over. She does get to attack you, though, as you move away.
Did he get a gang up bonus?
It's usually calculated. Let me see.
But if he didn't target her, it might not have calculated.
That's why it is. That is a hit actually because of the targeting bonus. Make sure you target so you can actually.
Double right click.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know
Good
that.
catch.
Do I need to be back over there for damage, or is that?
I don't think it's going to matter. Just roll damage. Yeah, just roll your damage.
Perfect. I did it, guys.
Okay. 6 is unfortunately not enough to break through her toughness, as she seems partially corporeal, partially incorporeal, and maybe you just kind of smash out at one of those incorporeal spots. Okay. Next up is Cletus. Cletus, it's your second round. You have now kind of, if you want, I think I put your token down there somewhere. So, like, we'll say you move up. You're somewhere in the realm of things. What do you want to do? Second round.
Now, look, I understand there ain't no way I can reach for this round, but I do see some rocks on this here map. Is there any chance I could pick up with them rocks and yell, "Piss off, ghost"?
Yes, you absolutely could do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm going to do that.
Piss off, ghost.
Okay.
Oh,
Athletics to throw.
So athletics to throw hits. Roll. Let's see. I don't know. What do we think a rock is?
I honestly don't know.
Let's do like a D6. It's fine.
Okay.
You're a big guy. Big rock, big guy.
Okay. I'll do D6 and then I'll just do a strength check after that. So the D6 for the rock
Yeah.
is a whopping 2.
Okay.
And then the strength check.
Okay.
So we've been 6.
All right. So 6 total
Nothing.
damage. No,
Yeah.
not enough. She's got a lot of toughness. Yeah. Okay. End of that round. Or excuse me, Amian, I'm sorry, I'm completely misreading this. Double D, you're up next. My bad.
That's me. I want to punch her twice and then run to the car.
Okay. Go for it.
Punch. It's gonna be great.
Punch twice, like
Goes-
as in you're not doing multi-action, just doing your normal.
Not doing multi-action. Just
One,
regular
two.
bat bat.
Okay.
All right. First bat gonna be
Oh no.
That is a miss. She's
All
just moving around like completely carefree.
hold still and let me punch you, ghost. All right. Next one. This is a -2.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
Right.
With a 7. Parry is 6 she has.
Come on, Benny.
Yeah.
So you can do any better.
There you go. That might do it. Okay, 14
Got
points
14.
is a wound. I will GM. I think I can GM Benny to do the thingy. And I do the thingy. And
All right.
She is just not willing to go down. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you run, right?
Yep. Just go back to the car so she gets a swipe.
Gets to swipe
That's
at you as
fine.
you run away. Okay. It's good though. If she hits you, good things can happen to you.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
All right, that's damage with raise. Let's see how
Ow.
this goes with 10.
Oh.
2 wounds plus you're shaking.
Oh damn.
She kind of reaches out, tries to grab onto your love handles as you try to get away. She's
Hey,
trying to
those are
hug and
mine.
Pull you back. You want to Benny vigor? You want to soak that? Summon a Benny to soak that.
Yeah. Just spend a Benny and it drops the shaken.
If you click the thing, it'll roll a vigor test, and that'll determine
Okay.
how much you soak. There you go. That's a good roll. And you soak it all.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Remove shaken.
All right. So since it didn't do any damage, I'm not going to make you roll the blight test. Amian, your turn. Car is now here. Everyone's here. A couple people are getting in the car. Douglas is got the door open, about ready to come in. Cletus has joined the fight. This woman that you're fighting does not seem to have been she's just beastly and ghostly and What would you like to do?
I would like to run in the car and throw a rock as well.
Okay, throw a rock. Yeah, go ahead, throw your rock.
All right.
Just gonna have to see if it's one of those Y-hander rocks that does 60
I
damage
know.
or something.
Is
I
it
know.
fighting? Fighting,
It's
like,
athletics. It's athletics for throwing
Oh, athletics. Okay.
the rock sense. 4
not-
will hit. It's just a success for range, so it's a hit. So roll damage. We'll set a D6, so roll a D6 is fine.
Okay.
Okay, so you just throw it, and it just as she's moving about, she's got this weird kind of ethereal glow. The rock kind of flies through it and stumbles down to the ground behind her. It does not
Yeah,
seem to
definitely run into
unfortunately
the car.
affect her. Okay, you run. So I'm gonna say I think people who are inside the car, Louisa, Amian, and Double D are in, as with Joe, obviously. Let's see, where did I put Joe's? There it is. So Joe is driving the car. So Douglas is outside the car. Cletus is outside the car. Everybody else is inside the car at this point. Okay. Next round. Amian, you're up first. Is there anything you want to do?
Can I try and taunt it so that they will be easier to hit
Yeah, you can like make her
the
distracted.
car?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll go off that.
It was a very fortuitous order to our
Mm-hmm.
initiative.
This game
Benny
hates me.
that.
Savage Worlds hates me. I'm pretty convinced.
Okay, 9.
Putting in that same list as D&D.
Well, just D20 games in general. I got to roll her spirit, Joe. It's a pretty good roll. All right, I'll make her distracted. No raise,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna make her distracted as she's kind of her eyes, these glowing eyes, blood pouring down from them, turn, and she's looking directly at you, Amian.
So I'm panically shutting the car door behind me.
Yeah, Douglas, you're up.
Rolling that window back up. I will go ahead and get in the
Okay.
car.
Douglas hops in.
I'm
Okay.
not messing around with throwing rocks or anything.
All right, Cletus, what do you want to do?
Right.
I don't want to be the only one not in the vehicle. I'm going to jump in the bed of it.
Okay.
I ain't messing with trying to get inside of it. I'll just hop in the bed of the back and I'll throw another rock maybe.
Okay. So throw a rock and then you hop in. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Athletics.
There you go. So that's total is 12. That'll be a raise. So yeah,
Okay.
roll. Yeah.
So 2d6 and then a strength check.
What are you doing the strength check for?
Well, just or d8. I don't really know. I don't have like a thing programmed in. So not strength check, but just a d8 for the strength,
Okay.
right?
For
Most thrown weapons, you have the dice for the
right.
weapon. And
That's
then the-
right.
Plus
Okay.
D6.
Yeah, that's
Or
fine.
plus
Go
the
ahead.
But
strength,
with
yeah.
the raise, it would be 2d6.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we
All
got
right,
a
so-
7, and then we got a.
And then you do the
I'll just roll 8. Last time I rolled the check, it should have just been
so
the dice.
13. Okay, 13 is enough to shaken her, so she'll be shaken.
That's great. That's exactly
Okay.
perfect.
All right, so yeah, so you, as she's staring at Amian, eyes kind of bright and bleeding, throw a rock, it smacks her right in the head. The wreath kind of goes askance, and then you go and you dive into the car. All right, Double D, you're in the car. You're up next. What do you want to do? Everyone's in the car now.
Hey, I ain't got nothing to do if I'm in the car. I'm ready to go. Hit that gas.
Okay, so you're just kind of holding your turn. Joe, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Vroom, vroom.
Just, yeah,
Bert.
just go. Yeah, just
Okay,
back
just
up.
gonna drive.
and Go.
Okay. All right. So you just kick it into reverse or just do a really like peel out and just screech away and you start driving. And I'll say, yeah, she does unshake. That's just her unshaken stuff because I was going through it. And I'll say that since you're all in the car and you're driving and he was ready for it, that as she wails, it's just sort
I
of
hit
this,
the horn.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it just, and that's great. The horn sounds and it just drowns out as the wail continues to go. Okay. And you all manage to escape. All right. So
Managed to survive the dead wife for now.
I turn
You
over
have-
to Cletus. Was that one of your ex-wives, Cletus?
Hell, I don't even know, man. I done. It's a funny story. One time I did woke up, found out I was married. I'd never even met the person before that I recall.
I remember that one. It done good, but it wasn't no good.
Mm-mm.
Hey,
I didn't mean to kill her brother over it or nothing.
is that why you gonna kill that brother? I like it. Anyway, hey man, I got a question for you. I think this
What's
is an
that?
important one. How come monsters know eat ghosts?
I don't know.
Because they taste like sheep. You're welcome. I'm gonna sit
I'm
back and
jumping
enjoy
out the
ride.
truck. Take me. Take me, lady.
Take me, wife.
okay, so I'm sorry, Melissa and I were just distracted as there is, in fact, an ice cream truck going by outside. We were just talking about ice cream trucks before we went on. There it is. We're here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to pause the stream and chase this ice cream truck down.
I don't believe
All right, so you're in the car. You're away from this danger. You know the general way. You're only a few hours as long as you can find a route toward that kind of gets you to the downslope of the Sidewinder path, get you through a corncob gap, and you can kind of work your way towards Weaver Falls. So you can try. It's nighttime, don't forget. So you can try to search around. You can camp out for the night. You can, Cletus, you saw some things as well. So it's kind of up to you guys. Like, what do you want to do at this point?
I don't know if y'all want to do anything about it, but there was like a whole caravan with like prisoners and nonsense. But like it wasn't just guards, it was some that their agency folk too.
What are you suggesting?
I mean, part of me wants to go break some people out, but like it was like a convoy bullshit.
It did seem like our numbers were a bit underplayed here.
I mean, if it weren't
Almost
for that
died
screen,
once today. That's like enough.
now see, normally what I would have hoped to have done would be like sabotage their wheels or something, and then like maybe they're wandering about or they set up camp and they run across that screaming lady, and while they're dealing with the screaming lady, we get the prisoners free. I
won't
guess
go
we
back
could
there.
we could like make some sounds to lead them in a direction and then skedaddle and then send them off in the direction of that lady.
That would be one way to have someone else take care of.
Right? I love letting other people do dirty work.
Yeah. I think for tonight though, I feel like I think I'm good for today. I think I wouldn't
I
mind
won't for
just
that
a
one.
relatively peaceful car ride the rest of the way.
That's fair. Y'all do look a mite like pale.
Hey, she's scared. I ain't like it.
No, maybe that's what we get for calling up the ghosties and well, what we did. Maybe this is our comeuppance for that. We get an actual ghost to scare the bejesus out of us.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Hey, I vote nap.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Okay. So between like napping, whether you're driving and
Radio,
sleeping,
some bluegrass.
so we're gonna do an interlude. I think as we sort of move from this section of the Ghost Ridge Mountains down to the Corncob Gap, up trying to find the Weaver Tail. Some of you know how to do this already from Deadlands, but if you don't, so what basically interlude is kind of like it's a catch. It's literally a catch your breath moment. Where like something, like you're kind of montaging over a couple hours or days worth of time, and you're doing this as an opportunity to tell like a small little anecdote or snippet about your character. You get a Benny for doing it. But it's based upon like a couple categories, and so there's like we deal cards, and so based on what cards you get determines the nature of like what your little snippet has to be. So like you're kind of given a prompt, and then you just sort of riff on it based upon like your character. So I'm going to show you all the interlude section. So there's essentially three different kinds. Like there's three different ways in which your story might be. It could be a downtime story. So like, what are you doing in this downtime? It could be backstory. So like something about your past, or it could be trek. Like, so literally something about the trip that's going to happen to you all. So it's one of those three types of things. And depending on the suit you get, kind of varies it slightly as well. So hopefully I'm just going to begin combat just to get the cards dealt. But Jeremy, if you don't mind, I know that Amian's got the king, but Jeremy, if you don't mind, you would be second. Would you mind going first, just so like those people who haven't done it before can kind of get a feel for it? Looks like you got a heart.
So a 9 of hearts. Let me see. A heart would just be okay. So practice is skill, tale of the hero's greatest love, or endure hardship.
So if you can, so for those of you looking at the handout, that's what Jeremy has to decide. Does he want to tell an interlude tale about like him practicing his skill during this drive and camp? Does he want to tell a backstory about like his greatest love? Or does he want to tell a little story about some kind of hardship that you guys all have to endure over the next several hours as you're driving? So that's kind of his choice that he has to pick.
I mean, I guess maybe it was in jest from Double D and all about my ex-wife, but I suppose the thing that kind of gets me down just a little bit around the campfire is about the girl I didn't marry. There's that time I won that whole competition, what they call it, Cletus would know, but Jeremy forgets, when you do the competition for who's the best climber.
Don't climb.
Right. I got you.
Man, there was one time
that's a
I
boy.
should have won it. I had it, and Bessie Mae, she knew it. And I just love Bessie Mae to death. And I as soon as she told me I should have won, and I knew she was the one when she told me I should have won. Like she was just my favorite person. But things change as you get older, and she had family to care to, and one of them company folks took a liking to her, and she liked me fine, but her family needed tending to, and she did what she had to do and moved off, and I ain't seen her in a spell.
Got a name for her?
Bessie Mae.
Bessie Mae. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I ain't so sad over the wives I had. I'm sad about the wife I didn't have.
All right. So were you the lucky Jim, or was she the lucky Jill? That's what
She was the
climb
lucky
is.
Jill.
Gotcha.
Like,
okay.
but because it was one of those things where you had the argument over who should have won,
Right.
and she actually tried to argue that I should have been the winner, but they gave it to her.
Okay. Bessie Mae. Noted. Okay. So does everyone kind of get it? You get a choice between one of those three prompts based upon your suit. So Joe, you're a king of hearts, so you also have the same choice of hearts between them. So you can either do like a quick little story about you practicing a skill. You could do a backstory about like a great love of yours, or you can do like a small little like montage snippet from this car ride, this journey that you guys are on up to Weaver Falls, about some kind of other hardship you guys face along the way. And again, you have free reign to make up whatever it is you like.
Okay. I think Amian, they'd talk about the skill they're working on, which is reading upside down. Because often there's papers or something that's on someone's desk that I'm on the other side of. So I'm practicing reading upside down because I think it'll come in handy.
So are you just like sitting upside down in like the back seat of the car? Is that what it is?
No, I mean like I'll like flip whatever I'm reading upside down.
Okay, well you could do that the other ways.
I like the other idea better.
Thank you, Dan. Okay.
There's only
So-
one orientation to words. You have to rotate your body. Yeah.
What is it you're reading?
Just like any pamphlet. It's probably like wanted posters and stuff for people that
Okay.
have escaped.
Okay, reading. Okay, so warrants and things. Okay. Warren some
Yeah,
wanted
just like any
posters.
like random scrap of paper that he could get his hands on.
Got it. Okay. All right. So the next up is Dogless. Dogless. So Dan, you have a diamond. So your choices are for downtime. If you want to do a downtime story, you're studying or you're working on an object of some sort. So what would it be if that's what you want to choose? Or your backstory choice is something your hero wants or already has. So it could be a material, it could be abstract, whatever. And the trek option is how the group during this drive found something that helped you all along the way. So such as like an ammo pack or food on the side of the road, friendly local, something like that.
Well, I know we're driving a car and gas, something we need.
Okay.
I don't know if that'd be something that we could conveniently find during the interlude or not, but
Absolutely. Like, do you think it would be like a gas can? Do you think it would be like a broke down jalopy with like all of its parts missing, and you just siphon off the?
probably
siphon
just
whatever
something junked on the side of the road that, happened to
Alright.
pop it open. There's a little bit left in it.
Okay, so yeah, you guys, as you're coming down that steep decline of the Sidewinder Gulch right above the Corn Cop Gap, I mean, they do a lot of drag racing along this stretch, and so you likely have like this kind of scraps of cars here and there that have been scavenged for like their parts here and there. And so like what's left is probably not enough to do much with, but if you kind of go through the tank a bit, you realize there's probably about a quarter gallon in there that you can siphon off.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I knew we basically had just enough gas to get there, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. That's great. That's a great. Let's see. Double D, you're up next. You're also Heart,
Hey.
just like Jeremy and Joe, or Cletus and Amian, I should say.
We'll go with the trek. Yeah, party endured, trying hardship on the journey. This is going to it's a tough one. Scarier than that ghost lay back there. We were driving along and the roads and big old log branch wood things stopping across the thing now. But Blade is there. He doesn't need it, use the little goat's room. So I'm like, I got this. Y'all stay sad. I'm going to go take care of it. So Bleed's not go out. He's doing the thing. And I went to go move this big old stick log in the road. So I grab it real hard and heavy like. And I hoist it up and I lift it up high and I throw it off the side of the road. But I look down, I'm like, oh, that's a weird looking stick. It's not a stick. I tell you, not a stick at all. Snake, big old snake there, sitting there, snake looking evil, mean. Well, I do what any sane person does in a thing like that. I go, snake, and I run the other way and just boom, 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 boom. Luckily, Bleedus is there, and Bleedus done killed it, because that's what Bleedus does. He only exists when there's a snake in the game, and then that's when Bleedus happens. It was maybe like a good quarter of a mile before y'all caught up with me running the other way. For the next half hour, all I did was pant is sweat and hug my dear Bleedus tight, because goddamn, I almost died.
All right.
It was bad. Real bad, I tell you.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful, Chuck. As told by Double D. Wonderful. All right, Joe, character Joe, Bert, you also got Heart, so you have the same choices that both Jeremy, etc. What are you thinking?
So this is going to be so he's driving the car. You might wonder why Joe knows how to drive, and because Joe is not very socially acclimated. What he says to the group is, when I was really young, I had to go and get my papa from the mines because they had such a hard time breathing and all. That's all he says, but in his mind, he's playing it back. Joe is a child. He's strapped wood blocks to his feet, and he's standing up in the cab of the car, and it's just enough that he can see over the steering wheel. And he's rigged up these mirrors on his little hat that he wears so he can see around him. Pulls up to this mine shaft. His pa and his grandpa are there, just hacking out a lung. He's got this little winch that he built, just trottles over on his little wooden blocks, hauls each of the guys into the truck, drives back home. This is like a nightly thing he has to do, this old jalopy of a truck.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. I can picture the blocks and the feet. It's like so good, man. I love it. Okay, and then finally, we've got Louisa with a club, first-time club. So your choices for downtime, you're brooding about something, or you're angry about something. What is it, etc.? Backstory is a tale of misfortune from your past. So it could be tied to a hindrance. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. The trek option is a hardship that the party overcomes on the trip. So something that happens along the way. So what are you thinking?
Okay. So I'm going to do kind of a combo of kind of a downtime and backstory hindrance piece. So I'm assuming at some point we're going to stop for a bio break, as they say. And so you're going to see, kind of Louisa go off. But if you were to kind of go after her, you would kind of see her. She kneels down and she kind of bows her head. And she's just rubbing. It just seems like all of her muscles that just seem to be just cramping, and she really seems to be in a lot of pain. And just kind of as she's kind of just rubbing, kind of her arms, and she's just, head bowed. Just if you're, I don't know if you're listening. I've wondered for a long time if you are, but I know I ain't got much time left, and I really am hoping that I can keep with this group and maybe we can do some good here, because there's just so much wrong here, and I've been trying to make things right, and I know you can't ever really make up for taking a life, but I've been trying to help folks out, and I'm hoping maybe before my time's up I can do something useful, helpful, can help a lot of folks. Maybe. Thank you for getting us out of that spot with that spirit. It seemed like that was going to be bad. But it's all kind of getting worse. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, I'm trying. She just kind of looks up, just good night.
All right.
She slowly gets up and walks back to the car.
You see the dark blight clouds just sort of swirling above. Can't even really see the stars that well. And you make it back. Okay, everyone can go ahead and take a Benny. That was fantastic. That was awesome. I love interludes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So good. You learn about folks, fleshing things out. It's great. Now I have ammunition for later for a few of you. This is great. This is fantastic. Okay, so you drive, on and off through the night. Take a couple bio breaks, nap breaks, etc. You take a little time to siphon off the gas from the wreck that you found. Put it into the gas tank of yours. You make it down through Corncob Gap. You're driving carefully, as it's so dark and treacherous and such, but and there's not proper paved roads or anything like that. You start moving your way up, up the Great Craggies. This is where you're kind of heading off to. Let me move your token a bit, and you start kind of searching around, looking for a town, kind of getting pointed. Dawn comes eventually, helps things out a bit. And you meet a couple folk as well. They're kind of going in the same direction as you. They got the tokens, and they kind of point here, point there. And through a handful of conversations and kind of running into a couple small groups and towns and things like that, you're able to eventually find your way, probably by about mid-morning, not quite lunchtime, to the Filler Convention. Now, when you arrive, you can tell that it's kind of already started. But from what you hear from the folks along the way, some of whom might have been even trying to hitch with you until they saw how many people were in your car, is that it's still only the first day. Like you're kind of arriving at a fairly decent time. You learn a little bit about the area. As there's this Weaver Falls itself is in a valley beside this river. It's called the Little Thicket River, and thankfully you don't have to cross it at any point, but Weaver Mountain is this big old mountain that you're on, and you can see as you pull up, there's a couple other cars here and there. You see a couple carts, you see a couple animals, some horses, some other goats, in fact, double D. You see a few people kind of brought, whatever animals they might have had. You can see that there's some tents and some bed rolls. There's a stage that's been kind of built out of some old wood here and there. You've got all sorts of logs that have been rolled over. These different campfire sites. You see people stomping. You see people playing song. You can see there's all sorts of these different attractions that are going on all around the area. So I'm gonna pull you all to another little, not so much a map, but as much a little play area, so you can kind of see what your options are. So you go up and you kind of get led in. You show your token, and there's not super difficult great security. If you have the token, you're kind of in this hidden clearing. No one really seems to give you too much trouble, and you make your way inside. Now, when you're looking around, you can see that there's some groups of people that are doing things that are quite obvious. You see, there's this whole section where people are throwing axes, and they're kind of they have these setups with these different chunks of flattened logs are sticking up out of the ground. They're doing some sort of axe throwing competition. You can see there's these barrels set up in one corner where all these little folk are kind of running around. You see there's some young folk as well doing some apple bobbing. You see in this big stretch of flat, beautiful grass with some kind of meadow flowers kicking up here and there. People have kind of wrapped their legs together, and there's groups kind of moving out in these three-legged races. You see there's these big haystacks that have been piled up at different locations, and people are kind of diving in them, kind of throwing stuff left and right here and there, digging through them as if they're searching for something. You can see that there's this section you just hear squealing from. Just squealing, and you can hear chicken going crazy. And you look over, and there's these big old heavy-set men running around like idiots, falling down in mud as they're chasing pigs and chickens, and they're falling on their faces, laughing a good old time, drinking out of jugs, and you hear the sounds of music and stuff playing as well. Some folks that are log tossing nearby as well, just kind of chucking these big old logs across and marking the distance in which they've thrown. You see groups of people that are moving about in these little tiny little pairs as they're right next to each other. They're playing mumbledy-peg, just throwing these knives at each other, just seeing if they hit each other, getting closer and closer. Off in a small little copse of trees, a little off to the north. You can kind of get the sense, and some people are kind of pointing gouging circles all over that way, and you hear the sounds of someone going, kind of coming out from behind the trees. And then there's more than a handful of these other places, these tents that have been put together in bedrolls, and people have what looks like tree stumps or something like that be used as tables. There's various games of chance, these crude dice that have been met up, or someone happens to have cards from a company store. There's various chance going on. So, in addition to all of that, all these different games, you can see that there's a stage that's been set up, and right as you come in, anybody who would like to roll a common knowledge test. You don't have to. If you think you're a person who might know a little bit about the musical life in the valley, or the Holler, I should say. I don't know why I said valley.
Cletus is amazing at common knowledge.
He's just been everywhere and everything. All right. Amian.
At least I got a 10.
Okay. So Joe and Amian and let's see, who else got a regular? And Double D. I mean, you recognize the song. You hear this this song kind of playing. Cottonmouth don't bite, soft. That's what it says. And Double D, you're still kind of sweating from your.
Oh my God.
But
I have a fit.
But Cletus and Louisa, when you look up, you recognize the folks up here. Maybe you've seen them before. Some of these various other places. It's Hermie Anvil and the Backwater Boys, as they're just kind of playing this wonderful song here and there. And there's a bunch of other, as that song finishes up, this other fast-paced jig starts to come on, and they're, everyone's kind of laughing and hollering around. People are dancing. It just looks like a really fun and just a delightful presence, and I don't have music to reflect that, but it's a very nice place.
Anvil, play Freebird.
We don't know no Freebird. What are you talking about? So really, it's just sort of this, you're at a carnival basically. as you can see from the map I put you guys on, there's a variety of different places you can go and do things. So what would everyone be doing now that you're here?
Hell, Louisa, you know Backwater Boys?
Well, of course.
All right, then. I mean, I knew you was one of the good ones, but all right.
I do listen. I do lots of listening. I may not choose to put my voice to all different types, but I do enjoy the listening.
Okay, man. You know what? Like you double now. I'm gonna go gouge somebody.
Okay. All right, please. So go ahead, just move your token to like inside whatever event, and we'll just sort of like we'll role play something about what goes down there. And I also have like some random folk, other people as you can see along the side who might kind of pop in, and who knows. So yeah, there's no like particularly specific order to any of this or format. I just did this to keep my mind in check because there's a lot of different things that can, so let's see. Oh yeah, I already did that guy. All right, I can count. All right, so let's see.
Apple bobbing.
We're gonna start with Double D, who goes to the apple bobbing site. So, so not everybody brings their children with them when they go traveling like this, but some people do. And when you get on over here, and Double D and his big, massive form comes up,
He gets children.
there's all sorts of these big old tubs of water. There's apples bobbing up and down. And you are the largest person here by a country mile, as it's most of the young folk. The only other adults here are just like kind of administering things. So describe what you do here, Double D.
Well, out of the way, kids. This is important business right here. I got to get something because, old Cletus over there, he done saved my life earlier. I got to repay the favor. I'm going to give him a nice apple. I can go up to one of the barrels, but I know I ain't real good at like that eye coordination with my face. It ain't working too good. So I get down on my knees in front of this, like half barrel, put a hand on each side, and I am just going to I want to dive my head in that water so hard, but really what I'm doing is I'm ramming the barrel with my shoulders. I want to break it. Make sure I can get me an apple, get all that water out of the way, and I get an apple for sure. I know it.
Roll athletics test.
You got it.
Oh my god. So you come on over to it. A couple kids were in line ahead of you. Do you wait?
Out of the way!
Just kind of push them.
Get out of here, little shits, or I'll kick you.
So you kind of get up and you just headbutt and ran down in. Your shoulder breaks the side of it, and two pieces of this sort of bent wood just kind of pull apart. The water starts spewing all out into the ground. You hear the kids like, "What are you doing, mister? You're too old for this. What the hell's wrong with you?" So one of our kids on the ground crying. Someone else kind of ran off, and as the water sinks, there's like a dozen apples sitting here, right there in the bottom of the barrel.
I get one with my teeth.
And you pull it all out, and as you do, and you kind of looking around, and you see there's a woman who's like standing right next to you, and she's just got this look on her face, just like and as she's watching you, it's like this kind of strange, she's got a smile on her face, and she's sort of shaking her head in a bit of disbelief, and she's like, "Friend, just what in the hell are you doing?"
Getting an apple from Cletus. I'll go ahead and I'll do that thing where you grab an apple and you rip it in half, and I'm going to start feeding Cletus apple. See?
If you wanted an apple for your goat, you could have just said something, friend.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm sorry about that then.
Comes on up, and she like kind of ruffles Cletus's like the back of his head a little bit.
He done friendly as long as you're not a snake. You want to make up for it, he can hang out here with you a little bit, let the kids come pet him.
Okay, well, I guess that's a fair enough trade for what you just done to this here contraption.
I won, though.
Well, it's not really about a competition, I suppose. Now,
Right.
As you're looking at her, by the way, she looks kind of... There's something kind of strange about her. as you're like watching, you're looking at her ears, and you notice that her ears are kind of pointy as they're periodically peeking out from behind her hair every now and then. And she, she's got this sort of way of dress that kind of looks it's very vibrant. Like there's just tons of color, and like most everyone else around here are kind of dressed up in their usual kind of dour colors, like their browns and their stained clothes. Roll a common knowledge test.
All right. Five.
Okay. You would know that you would guess that you maybe have heard about like this group of folk. Some people call they're like kind of like tree huggers, kind of carefree. These folks they're called midsummer children. That's what they're called.
Midsummer children. You one of them children of the summer that's like not quite done yet, right?
Well, I am in fact that, friend. I am one of them, as you say. I'm from Midsummer. I am indeed. Yeah. Well, whereabouts you from?
I'm down over yonder. I was done digging the mines on Double D. Got my brother Cletus somewhere around here.
Oh, you got a brother. Well, that's just wonderful. I have. There's another child around here somewhere too, as well. Though I suppose you can call him my brother, but really we just call each other friends. You a friend of the Midsummer?
I got no reason not to be.
Well, that's good to hear. You got a way about you, I gotta say. You're a little bit on the... Well, you're kind of like a bull in a really small barn that's filled with all sorts of nice things, just bouncing off things left and right. That's what you are, aren't you? Well,
I don't bounce good too. One time I fell down and bounced right back up.
Well, isn't that funny? She just starts laughing at that point. She continues to kind of pet Cletus. We'll kick over to somebody else. Let's see who do we want to go next. So who's next? Let's see. We will in fact go to Cletus. So Cletus, head over. You shift back into the gouging circle area. Cletus, you see someone immediately kind of sitting down on a log. They got like what looks like a big old welt of cloth covering their face. There's blood kind of pouring down here and there, and you recognize them. Friend of yours, probably. Might be the one who kind of initiated the invitation. Who is this person?
Hell, man, that's gonna be man, I'm trying to think. It's just the dumbest name possible. Boomer.
Right. Boomer. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know Boomer?
Well, one time when I was a child, they tried to force me to go into school. I couldn't read nothing myself, but I told him I wanted his autograph, right? And so I had him sign his name on a piece of paper, but then I drew a picture of the teacher making it look like he done wet himself. And I was like, look at that. What did you do? Oh, man, teacher's going to be so angry. So I tried to make him pay me some money so he could get the picture back.
Oh, my God.
And then we got in a fight over that, but afterwards we were okay. He was my first attempt at blackmail.
Okay. So as you come up, he's like all looking around. It looks like he's recently got done with the bout. You can see behind there's like two fellas that are kind of going toe to toe. And you can see that there's like other folks that's sitting around watching. Some folks are eating some things in there, like seeds of some kind. Other folks are drinking. A few folks are kind of stretching out, kind of getting ready. Some folks are just laying in the grass amongst the trees. And he sees you. That Cletus, right? Oh, Cletus, you a sight for sore eyes, or I should say sore eye. This one ain't doing so good. He kind of pulls the cloth off, and you can see his face is just all torn up. The eye is still intact. They said ain't no gouge, can't do no eye gouging, but tell it to that fella over there. And he kind of points off to somebody else in the distance.
Hey, Boomer, I know the skull is the hardest bone on the body. Don't mean you got to block every punch with it. You bring your hands up, man.
They were busy because I was trying to hit them with my hands. And that's how that works, doesn't it?
I mean, I usually stomp on toes to ask them, like, make them look at the bunny or something.
Well, I can't do everything at once. You try to stomp on people's toes with your own toes. You try to punch people with your fists, and you try to block them with... I can't do everything at once, man. I only got 2 arms and 7 fingers, and I don't know how many toes I got left, but there ain't that many.
You're still a pretty sumbitch, though. What about that fella? What was up with him?
Oh, he didn't like it because I was winning. And, you know, when I'm winning, I tend to make a few observations about a person's ineptitude, and he didn't much care for what I said about him or his mama. So I might have taken it too far.
Okay.
Yeah. You here to fight?
I mean, I ain't here not to fight.
All right. Well, he kind of points you over, and you kind of go through a little montage of him sort of pointing out where you register and all that kind of stuff. Not register so much as like where you just throw your name in a hat and everything, and they kind of pull it out and stuff. So yeah, like you can do an actual gouging fight. So you can't do eye gouging. So you can't actually eye gouge. That is one thing
All right.
you're not allowed to do, is they will say so.
Gonna unbuckle my overalls, cover myself in lard.
Okay. So we haven't talked about this before because we haven't really touched about it, but gouging sometimes is called rough and tumble. It's like a unarmed fighting, right? It's sort of like, you know, it's like boxing, MMA type stuff, but it's very brutal. And in this particular case, like, you basically fight until someone's incapacitated, and then normally the rules are like, you know, you can do whatever you want, but if you kill somebody, it's still murder. So it's not like it's legal to suddenly start killing folk. So there are, however, a series of things that you're entitled to do, that you can do, pretty common whenever you incapacitate someone. You can bite off a person's ear, you can break their arm, you can break a leg, you can gouge out an eye, though that's not allowed here, or you can make a mark in some way. If you flee, it's considered shameful, and that will follow you. And if you concede, it's similarly shameful, and it's also kind of like at risk. Like if you hop in the gouging circle, you're expected to finish what they started and everything like that. So we'll say you kind of get your name in the hat. We'll kind of cycle back. You got Boomer there. He's rating around for you as well. And we'll come back and we'll do a kind of a fight with you in a second. Let's see what everybody else is doing. Let's go to Douglas. Douglas, where'd you end up?
Axe throwing. I figured
Okay.
I'm not good at hitting people with the axes. Maybe I can hit something.
Okay. Let me roll something really fast. Why is that not working? Okay, there you go. Okay. So you kind of wander up to this group, and you can see that there is, again, it's like a competition. There's competition going on. Sort of everyone kind of seems to be just sort of putting something into the pile. Like, this is like what people are kind of betting. And again, there's all sorts of different things over there. You see like freshly baked bread. You see a can of beans. You see what looks like a couple bits of company script here and there. Like, it's just basically just put something in. As you kind of walk up, you see this big old tin, kind of, you know, tin drum that everyone's just kind of tossing stuff into. And, fella kind of comes up to you. This a dark-skinned man, bald head, and he just like, it's like, you here to throw?
I mean, something like it.
He kind of looks down at your axe. Is your axe like is there anything noticeable about it, or is it just like any old axe?
It's a logging axe, pretty
standard.
Nothing special.
You see him kind of cock his eye and like, you don't do this much, do you? You use that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's more for working than throwing.
All right. Well, you can all hop in. That's just fine. You can go ahead and get yourself you go one-on-one with some folk. Whoever gets closest, 3 throws. Whoever gets, so basically you're going to count successes and raises over 3 throws, and whoever has higher, they win. And you go on over to the drum. You can pick yourself out something nice. Understand?
All right.
Oh, all right then. Okay. So he kind of brings you over, calls in somebody else, and somebody else kind of steps up to the line. You got to get your axe going. He's just kind of staring there watching. He's just sort of leaning back, this fella just watching you, eyeing you as you go. Go ahead and roll three throw and X throws here.
Just the regular logging X attack? Or?
Yeah, just regular. Well, it's a thrown attack, so it's athletics and everything like that. So because it's fighting if you're just meleeing, it's athletics if you're throwing. So you can just throw three athletics checks is fine. And just count up all of your successes and raises.
What's considered a raise?
So successes for a raise is basically 8 or higher.
Okay. So
yeah. All right. So over 3 throws, you got 1 raise and you got 1 success. So that's basically a total of 3. So this other fella steps up, and you can see your first axe goes wide, just falls down to the ground. You hustle out, pick it up, throw the next one, hits, not bad, but still missing that kind of painted circle. Pull it out, come back, and then finally on the 3rd try, perfect bullseye. This other fella comes up, kind of eyes you up and down like, boy, you might want to go ahead and just put that axe in the drum while you throw. And he's going to go ahead and just try it himself. 1, it hits, first try, 2nd try, axe goes flying wide. 3rd try comes through.
Man.
So it's tie.
Oh.
I mean, technically, we could say he wins because that 18, he splits your axe in 2 like the Robin Hood style, and your axe falls.
My axe.
So he just kind of goes, and you look around, and everyone's kind of whistling, hollering, and how happy he is, and they kind of move on off, and he kind of goes over to the tin drum, picks up winning, and that fella who first talked to you as you came in, he kind of pats you on the shoulders like, that's all right, boy. You'll get him next time. It's your first try. He's been here all morning. You just got to get the arm motions going. You're getting better each time. All right. Let's go over to somebody else.
Did he really destroy my axe?
No, of course not.
No.
Okay. I was about to cry a little bit. I was like, oh, I came out even emptier handed than before.
Sorry. We already did double D. I'm sorry about that.
Funny.
I don't know. All right. So who hasn't gone yet? Sorry. Mumbledy Peg. Let's do Mumbledy Peg. So you guys know what Mumbledy Peg is? This is a legit thing. I did a little.
So is this? But they're variants. Are we throwing it at each other's feet or at our own feet?
Thrown at so it's going to be thrown at each other's feet. So like you basically sit you sit down like across from like one other person and you throw knives at people's feet. It's so good. So yeah, you come on up. Well, yeah. Why don't you tell? Like, so when you come, if you can see, there's a couple groups here and there that have already kind of established. There's like these areas on the ground that you can tell have been worn down a bit as people kind of probably shuffled and stomped, kind of cleared up some of the grass, and so it's a little bit dirtier here and there. And there's folks sitting around and such. Some of them are just kind of watching. Other folks you can see are like bandaging up their feet, taking off their shoes, kind of seeing the holes, wrapping up the bandages as you kind of wander up. Let's see if you see anyone of interest here. Okay, yeah, you see was one woman kind of sitting off to the side, kind of keeping to herself. She's just sort of watching, as these different people are kind of doing it. She doesn't look so much like the kind of person who would be kind of engaging in Mumbledy Peg. She's all in yellow, like head to toe. She's got kind of a yellow kind of band around her hair. She's got a yellow dress on. She's got some kind of, looks like yellow thing around her wrist, all of it. Now, it's different shades of yellow, but it's still basically yellow here and there. And you can see that she's got a book out. She's just sort of like watching and writing and kind of watching and writing. And then you see all the different folks and people are kind of pointing up, trying to pair up with the next person. What do you want to do over here?
Can I get a quick look-see at the book behind her shoulder?
Yeah, roll a notice test. Yeah, roll a notice test.
Nope.
Yeah, you can tell that like you can't quite exactly make out what it is, or maybe she sees you and she kind of covers it up as you're kind of peeking over it. You do see it looks like it's strange enough, she's not writing from one side of the paper all the way to the other. It's like kind of strange. She's just sort of writing down the left-hand side, a couple of words here or there, and then she's like, When she sees you, sort of sees your shadow kind of suddenly kind of cast down on. She's like, "Excuse me, this here's private. I don't know why being such a looky-loo." She covers it up, kind of looks up at you shamefully.
Is she she was carefully watching the people playing, or what was she looking at?
She was looking at and like writing here and there and like watching and writing, and then she kind of got distracted as your shadow came around by her.
Were you trying to work out odds?
No, I'm just writing. That's all. Just whatever comes to my mind. There's kind of an interesting, I like to write, creative things. It ain't the most highbrow competition in the world, but there's beauty in this too, the competition that is. The blossoming of the blood. It kind of starts to leak on out from a wound. It's got that nice look to it, I gotta say, and the grimace
I
on
understand.
the person's
You
face.
are a sadist. I just nod.
Okay. Well, I suppose saddest. I'm not very sad though.
Joe is looking to enter the competition.
Okay. So sort of a similar thing. So like they're basically like you're playing for something like if you have nothing to put up, you're playing for knives. So like the idea is like whoever loses gives over their knives or something else they put up. And that's kind of the deal you're at here.
Joe's simple thought is, I could use a knife. So he just enters the line.
Okay.
If he asks what he can put up, I still have my bowler.
Okay, so you take your hat off, you offer it, and so like they don't you ain't got your own knives. All right, and so if you don't have your own knife, they kind of pick up this sort of rusty old, doesn't look too sharp. It's got a point to it, but the blade doesn't look particularly sharp to it. But it's almost brown. You can barely see any of the metal over, and they kind of hand it over to you. And so so it's sort of the similar thing as Dogmore. You're just rolling kind of three things, like three.
So Joe look at it for a moment and says, "One moment, please." He'll take out his wrench and go over to a stone, and he'll start working on the knife to get it to be balanced, sharpened up a little bit. Uses his wrench to kind of pound out the imperfections and to use it as like a steel.
Roll a repair test. Success, take a +1. Raise, take a +2 on your throws. So like roll a repair test like normal right now, and how well you do will potentially give you bonuses. Okay, 9 is a raise, so take a +2 to all of your throws when you go to throw them down at people. So you and this big old looking fella, you kind of sit down. You can tell he's got this kind of big old mustache. It kind of rips down, kind of comes up into mutton chops, and he's got this scar on his eye, and you can see that he's he looks fairly tough, and he's kind of wearing almost looks like these sort of leather gear to him as he kind of sits down next to you. He's a fairly intimidating looking fella as he sits down.
Joe's face is just completely impassive.
He's kind of eyeing you up. Boy, you sure you're in the right place for this?
This is where I get knives, yes?
Well, there are other ways to get knives. Not as many ways to lose toes.
I don't think I will lose mine. You are good at throwing, right?
I am.
Then I don't think I'll lose mine. I would be more worried about yours.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. He kind of looks off that. Well, all right.
Just completely just impassive.
He's just trying to get a read on you. And he's like, all right. He's like, all right, well, I'll give you first throw if you want.
All right. So what's this based on?
Athletics.
Athletics, okay.
Yeah, and you get a +2 from your
Sure.
balancing. Okay. Pretty good.
A success.
All right. So his
How many
first
rounds is there? So like, what are the rules?
So basically it's the same deal. It's like 3 rounds. Success. So and just count up your successes and your raises. So if you get a success, it's 1. If you get a raise, it's 2. And then over the 3 rounds. So first one misses. And so you see it the knife buries into your shoe. It doesn't quite sneak in and kind of pierce into any sort of feet at that point. And he's like, sorry, I've been drinking since I woke up. All right, your throat. Go ahead, boy.
Yep. So is this my second throw then? My first one was a 4.
Yeah, your first one is
yeah.
a 6 because
Okay,
you have
or
the plus
6,
2.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, next throw.
Yeah. Oh my. And so you put one so close. It's like right down next to his feet, like right up against it. Perfect. And it's like it couldn't get closer to his foot without stabbing. Like it is the about perfect throw. And you hear like there's a couple gas and like a couple whistles and hollers from standing behind the guy. And as you look up, you can see that there's 2 guys standing up behind this fella that you're throwing with that are kind of dressed relatively similarly. And they're like, Harvey, you better look out. That boy's going to take you all you're worth. Oh, man. And they start heckling him. And he's just, shut up, boys, shut up. And all right, concentrate. All right. How's it good throw, boy? You sure you never done this? You done this before?
I have never thrown a knife before.
Nah.
I'm very good with the slingshot.
This ain't no slingshot. Hey, and he goes to throw. And again, he misses. This time, you feel the blade just sink into your shoe, and it just kind of scratches against up one of your toes. Not to the point where it's actually gonna hurt, but it just sort of leaves a scratch. But you can start feeling the blood start to well out. You pull the knife out of the shoe. You can see the tip of the blade's got a little bit of your blood in it. All right. Next time's my try. And they're all just heckling him behind. Arvin, man, you don't know what the hell you're doing, boy. This little fella's gonna come. He's just gonna wipe the floor with you. And he just, shut up, you sons of bitch. And there's just a lot of that kind of heckling going on. So you are up to 3-0.
Ooh, I missed that one, but I don't want to miss that one, so I'm going to Benny that.
You're good. You pass.
Oh, wait,
Remember,
I made
you're
a 4.
getting
Yes, right,
your weighted bonus because you spend some time. You throw this one down. It's not as good as the last throw, but it lands again, and it's just like, oh, man, I think this fella's a ringer. He's much better than he says he is. Nah, then whatever. He's just getting lucky. It's his first try. Oh, wrong. That's the wrong one. Sorry. As he rolls, so he'll throw one down at you as well. This time, finally, it doesn't kind of stick into your shoe, but it's not that good a throw. And you're looking down and you realize, man, you just crushed him. And he's like, all right, fair's fair, son of a bitch. He kind of gets up. You're like, hang on. You hold still, boy. And he just starts throwing like more knives down at your feet. Like first one and the others. You can tell he's just like really, really stubborn. He just keeps throwing them. He's like, I'm better than this. All right, ain't no Orville smoke gonna get me. He's throwing and throwing. Another one of them sticks into your shoe. And finally, like the other guys kind of come up and sort of pull him away at this point. Come on, man. If he beat you fair and square, man, give him all your knives. All right, man? That's how we play. So go ahead and add throwing knives to your inventory.
You can grab so much. How many are
picking
there?
them up. 3. We'll say 3.
3 knives. Okay.
Yeah, you have 3 throwing knives. Okay, well played. Let's see, who's next? Who we still have to do? Okay, let's go over to Louisa. So Louisa, script in the haystack. So you come up, and you can see there's like they're setting up for a new one. You can see there's a handful of folks who are kind of grouping up around what looks like this big old pile of hay on the ground, and you can see that there's this fella that's like, I mean, he's got as much hair as Douglas and Dogmore does, and he's got as much animal furs, but he's as big as Double D. Like, it's like combination of the two. Double D's bald as bald can be, but like this guy is just like big old monster hair coming out, bushy beard. You're pretty sure you see some kind of like squirrel coming up out of it, and he's kind of hunched over almost like a bear, but he still looks taller than anybody you kind of wander around with, and like he's around this like haystack, and there's like 2 or 3 other people, and this woman who's kind of explaining the rules. I'm like, all right, now inside this here haystack, we went ahead and hit some script. Y'all, when we say go, you go ahead and just dive on in. First person to find the script, you just grab it and go. It's your script, and that's how much you get. Now, Now, we allow for a certain amount of pulling and tugging and shoving, but no weapons. We ain't want no weapons here. Everyone's playing a fair game, all right? And certainly no injuries as such. And if there's any kind of, any kind of chicanery going on, well, you just say something. We'll take care of it. So, Towie, what the hell? Boy, you're bigger than the haystack. You shouldn't be. Man, shouldn't you be out throwing axes or some such? You fella. And he just kind of looks over like the big old tie, like, what are you talking about? Blow the heart. Let's go. So do you want to engage in script in the haystack there, Louisa?
I do.
Okay.
I
So
don't know if I'd be good at this, but she's going to give it a shot.
So basically, it's a notice test. As you just start like diving through and you're like looking and feeling around and you're just trying to get script. And so you're trying, so like hidden within this big old haystack is money. Like you're basically looking for money, and how well you do is, how quickly you get it sort of determines it. So roll a check, roll a nose test, and then you kind of narrate what happens here.
Alrighty. And so before she goes in,
Yeah.
if this is loud, you're going to see her like, finding a little, I'm assuming there's like kind of flyers or something for this place that we're at.
Not so much flyers. It's more just like kind of people explaining things, and maybe like a piece of wood with something painted on it, suggesting haystacks, something like that.
Okay, so there's no scrap paper anywhere.
There can be if you need to be
Okay.
sure.
I just want to find like a little scrap paper and just write down kind of like a meeting place information on it, and just kind of roll it up and put it in her pocket ahead of time.
Okay. Like what meeting place?
Coming up with a meeting place that we might meet with some like-minded folks after.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm following what you're doing. Okay, so you, go ahead and roll that nose test then.
That's a 6.
Okay. So then you roll with Towie here. Okay, so you're just diving around, and you kind of reach and you feel your hand settle in upon a handful of script, and like a second later, you feel this massive meaty palm just flip right down and kind of start closing in around your wrist, and he's like, I got it right here. This is mine. What are you doing? This is mine.
No, I don't believe it is. This is... And so I'm going to try to reach with my other hand and see if I can kind of grab the script that's in my right hand out.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, you have it in your hand, and like you hear like the folks coming out. Now, Towie. Now you got to calm down. She got that fair and square. As you kind of start pulling out of the haystack, you're kind of covered in hay here and there. He is too. You can see he's got like overalls on. He's definitely some sort of mountain man. He's got this angry look on his face. Come on, now this ain't no fair. I might be big as I can be, but I done this like 7 times today, and I haven't gotten a single one. This was the closest one, and now this newcomer comes on up. If we've been fighting this whole time, this is my turn. Come on now. What's wrong with y'all? This is just not fair. It's not fair. And he's kind of like throwing this like big old adult temper tantrum.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time it'll be your...
That's what they said last time. They said, hey, last time it's going to be the next time. And the one before that is going to be next time, too. I keep hearing next time. When is next time going to be my time?
Well, and I'll make up some sort of tactic of like, see, you keep going because you're tall. You keep going high. But what you need to do is you need to get low and then go in. Because then you'll be faster at where it was in the haystack.
Get low. And then go in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I get low. And then I go in. Okay. Thank you, man. That's a good tip. Everyone just said try harder, wouldn't I? Not try as hard as you can be, but that's strategy right there. That's tactics. That's right. That's what I want to know. A little lesson for the next one. Okay.
Doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on it this next time, but I'm just saying it might work for you.
Oh, you gonna go get... Oh, come on. Okay. I can appreciate that. Okay. All right, well, I'm going low this time. So he kind of crawls down on his hands and knees. Go ahead and roll another notice test.
He gets like a +3 this time from her tactic.
I am going to give her a bonus, actually, for the tactics.
Louisa got an 8 this time.
Okay. He got a 9. And so this time, it's the complete opposite. His hand stomps down on it, and your smaller hand kind of reaches around his big old wrist, and he's like, no, this one's mine. It's my time. He pulls it on out. And he's got this big old script that he's essentially crushed inside of his giant hand. It worked. It worked, thank you. Thank you so much. That was right. Put her here. He kind of sticks his hand out. Cow, it burns. Pleasure to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, too.
What's your name there, madam? Sorry, I don't know what the proper etiquette is. It's been a while since I've been in polite company.
You can just call me Louisa.
I'll call you Luis. Luis, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it. I ain't gonna do nothing with it. I just wanted to win. So here, you can go ahead and take the script yourself. I ain't ever gonna use this garbage piece. So there you go. I just wanted to win. Okay.
Well, I was going to say we can go again and break the tie and see what happens.
No, I just, want to do it. You want a drink? I can get you a drink.
Absolutely. Why not?
Okay, come on, we'll go get a drink. Let's go. And he kind of starts moving off. And finally, we'll kick it over to Amian. Amian, you are at Dubious Games of Chance. Okay?
Yes.
So, this one's kind of open. So, what do you look for when you're looking? What kind of game of chance? There's all sorts of different stuff here. Anything you can think about. It's gambling. There's all sorts of different gambling going on here.
He would be trying to go after whatever one he feels like he could cheat at the most. So probably something with cards.
Okay.
That way you could count them or something.
All right. So you see folks, they're playing some kind of local game, some kind of card game, and they're kind of sitting down, and they see you kind of wander up, and they're like, well, I thought we had an age requirement for participation in this, but I suppose...
completely ignore them and pull a seat up and slam down and pull out, some money to ante in.
Okay. I stand corrected. Okay, so let me see if there's anybody around the table. There's a couple folks that I'm just sort of rolling on to see if there's anyone around. You see, as you sit down, at this stump where these cards are around, this kind of big old hook-nosed fella is kind of needling you a little bit. This really, tall, kind of, dark-skinned man. He's got all sorts of, salt and pepper, low hair, kind of really low-cut hair, low-cut beard. And he kind of sits on down. He's you never heard a voice as low. It almost sounds like a croak of a frog. And he's like, "Do me in, boys. Let's go. Me and the boy were joining in this time." He kind of looks over at you, gives you a nice big old smile and a wink at the same time. Roll a gambling test. See how well you do.
Okay. Is there an actual gambling?
There is a gambling skill. Yeah, there is indeed a gambling skill. If not, you have to roll it unskilled.
All right. Let's do it. Could I do a taunt test to try and throw people off before I do a gambling?
Well,
skill?
if you said you're trying to cheat, right?
Yeah.
So a character who cheats adds +2 to his roll. So I can raise this or lower this depending on the particulars. However, if a cheater rolls a critical failure, you're caught, and the consequences will be quite severe. And that you will probably lose.
Let's do it.
Okay. You can see off to the side, there's a pile of fingers on the ground. Okay, so add a +2, roll your gambling unskilled, and see how you do.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Okay.
I want to Benny it.
All right, go ahead and roll your Benny.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
What?
With the 10. Okay. A couple rounds go by, and we'll kind of montage this as we're getting near the end. And you can see like, a couple hands go by, you win a little bit, you lose a little bit. You're trying to kind of get a feel for folks, and everyone's sort of joking. Every now and then the guy with a really deep voice will kind of croon out some kind of song. He's got this beautiful bass voice, just sort of singing a bit. And then, and eventually you slowly start taking advantage of it here and there, kind of palming a card there, kind of looking side glance at someone's hand over here. And over the course of like maybe a half an hour, an hour or so, you start to rake in with a 10, which is a raise. Rake in essentially what looks like about 7/10 of the pot distributed amongst the 4 or 5 people that are around this tree stump taking in on this money. And yeah, you can go ahead and we'll add you can add some script. We'll say they're playing for script. Add like maybe 30 script or so to your
okay.
Yeah. So
I will do that.
And then finally, like, someone will, like, as like the game kind of breaks down, someone will kind of like, hey, Bullfrog, it's your turn, you're on up. You see the big old guy, that sort of with the deep voice, kind of stand up, ankles and knees kind of cracking, and kind of wanders over to the stage. As you can see, the Backwater Boys are kind of getting down, and the guy that called him Bullfrog kind of stands up, and he gets out what looks like some kind of guitar and starts playing around and singing as he's next up. And then we'll close tonight over on Cletus, as Cletus picked the one where dying is possible. So Cletus, do you want to fight Boomer, or do you want to fight someone else? Or do you just...
Man, so part of the reason I do this is because Double D's so damn much better at it than I am. This is kind of like cathartic for me in a way. So I don't so much want to fight Boomer. I want to find the biggest, meanest son of a bitch here. And it don't matter so much whether I win or lose. If I fought anything other than the biggest and the meanest, Double D put me down.
Okay. All right. So you so what ends up happening is you're kind of looking around, you're measuring up, and you see fella who's probably, he might be as heavy as you, but he doesn't have as many layers as you. You understand the scene? He looks like a big old giant boulder, and he just seems like firm as can be. And you watch him fight once or twice, and he just like pounds people into the dirt, and he's just kind of having his way with the whole crowd, kind of whole circle. But eventually, it comes your turn. This fella kind of looks around. He's kind of his hands up, just kind of shirt off, blood here and there. He's got cuts and wounds. It doesn't seem to bother him one bit. And he's kind of, just kind of shouting out at folks. In the corner, you can see there's a fella who's got like a mouth harp, and they're kind of mouth harping away as the fights are going. And then some fella who seems to be kind of organized and all kind of points to you like, all right, fella, you're on up. Come on, fresh meat.
All right, then. So
you step into the fight. And yeah, it's basically just going to be a straight up fight, really, is what this is. So if you look at the sheet, I actually put a character token on the sheet of who you're fighting. This big old like brawny man with his giant beard and flannel shirt.
Now, did your mama marry the grizzly bear, or was this something that happened out of wedlock?
And he punches you.
That's fair. I just said that.
So he's just going to take this big old. You know what he's going to do? Yeah, he's gonna punch you right at the head. Is what I think he's going to do. He's going to be like, boom, as he actually has the gouger feat, which
I've made a huge mistake.
Lets him ignore the penalties.
Yep.
So that 4 points of call chat penalties. So you're just gonna, with his, you're unarmed, so he's just gonna go ahead and roll a fighting test. He tries to punch you right in the head. I got bennies left. There we go.
Okay.
That's better. All right, that is a hit. It's a regular hit, but it's +4 to damage because he's going for your head. So not a raise though. So roll damage. So right in the face. No, you just hear a crunch of your nose as this big old meaty fist kind of layers down into your face.
Did I say your mama? I meant, yeah, I meant your mama.
Do you want to soak that? You can soak that.
I do.
Go ahead.
So let me see. There we go.
I won't roll to soak for him. I'm just going to roll to punch. Oh, no. Oh, no. As you are, in fact, oh, no, you're not. I'm sorry. I misread that. Yeah, you're fine. As you soak the one wound, which takes off the shaking. Okay, go ahead, and you can attack him now.
Oh. All right, then. That was good.
Mama. At least I have a mama. Hairy as she might be.
Don't you talk about my fucking mama. I'm going to beat your ass.
Okay, go ahead. Roll damage. Oh, goodness.
This would be a great time to critically fail.
So you go to unload, and you punch him right in his big, rocky, like, meaty chest, and he just hits, and he just looks down.
I'm going to reroll spending a Benny.
Okay.
Boy, you're going to do way better than that.
Okay. So you kind of punch him, he stumbles a little bit, and he comes back up, and he's like,
yeah, that might work when you're fighting your mama, but that ain't gonna work for me.
Why don't lay hands on my mama like you do? I descended
and
from
he just
grizzly bear.
like headbutts right in your head.
God damn.
I was gonna keep
doing that.
He's just gonna keep going after your head, I think. Oh goodness. Oh man, I got another. I'm just gonna Benny the hits, and and so yeah, he headbutts, but he mistimes it. He's like, oh!
This time I remember to lower my, because I talked to Boomer earlier about I gotta lower my head, make sure he hits this part.
All right, roll your attack.
Why you keep going for my nose, you son of a bitch? That hurts.
That's a raise. Go ahead and roll your damage. Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh my.
Just,
I'm gonna stomp on his toes, and when he leans over from that, I'm gonna clap him on the ears.
he seems all stunned. And now, how do you knock him out? As like now he's like kind of what?
Stomp on the toes, clap him on the ears, and I'm gonna headbutt him again and again.
And he falls to the ground, and you see he's incapacitated. Do you do anything to him? Like, so there are some. You can maim him. Like, maiming is a common thing that people do. Like, killing people isn't. So when they're on, like, you've clearly beaten him. He's laying on the ground.
Now, I ain't gonna kill him or nothing. But what I will do is I'll give him the biggest damn titty twister anybody's ever seen.
Okay. Do you want to leave a mark?
Nipple straight off.
Oh God, you're just gonna rip his nipple straight off. Oh, okay. That's what you do. You just rip it off, and you just hear him. As he just rolls around in agony on the ground.
Talk about my mama, you son bitch.
And what a perfect time to end on Jeremy Cletus ripping a nipple off a gouge fighter. And we'll continue with the festival. We'll meet some of the more people, and like we'll kind of get into it some more as we're only just sort of scratched the surface of what's going down here. As you can see, there's lots of stuff. Some of you have gotten knives. Some of you have gotten script. Some of you have gotten nipples. Everyone seems.
Some of us have free beers coming,
and some of you, some of you made a friend. Some of you made a friend. All right, so
some
we'll
of us
dive.
got shiny knives.
I know, yeah, you got some nice knives, some very nice knives. All right,
One of us got humiliated.
I think I might have done join a cult.
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot to move folks over. So that's Towie. So I'm just showing this to them. So Towie's over there. Who did I have you? I had the Midsummer Child with Double D. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Amian, I think you had Bastion the Bullfrog Bach. Joe, you had Arvel's Smote. That's who you had. You don't even realize, like, you just beat out like one of the toughest, meanest like sons of bitches and all of Holler right there, which is pretty crazy. So
He'll remember this impassive face.
he will totally. It was thrown him. Yeah, so he's one of the boys from County Hell, which is like a biker gang. Essentially, is what they are. Like, you just out knifed a biker gang head.
Maybe he'll need a mechanic.
That's a really interesting point. All right, so we'll dive into more of the festival next time. We'll meet more of these folks, dig into who they are and what they represent, and see if they can recruit some folks to the revolution, so to speak. Let's do some closing plugs. Chuck, what's going on with Defenders this week? I asked you not necessarily for a plug, just because I don't know what we're doing on Wednesdays. So Chuck, what's up?
We're doing the Quiet Year on Wednesday, where we're playing the gods and reshaping the Thunder Rift, so then we can move back into it, an undisclosed amount of time into the future. Also Thursday on Defenders, we're doing the Quiet Year, same game, but we're making an Over the Garden Wall inspired setting that we're going to use Tales from the Loop with the Watercolors and Warriors crew. So
awesome. That's exciting.
Cool. Yeah. Friday, Joe's going to be running Anvia, the game he's making. What is it? Saturday during the day, we've got Grim and Perilous Plays. We've got some Fallout 2D20.
Yeah.
And Saturday night, something's going on in Goodman Games, but I'll let Bert talk about that.
All right. Jeremy, Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. You've got comic books, you got maps, you got some RPG assets, some 5e modern classes got put out recently. It's pretty fun.
Very nice. And Bert, what do you got going on?
Hey, on twitch.tv/Steam Steal Murder this Tuesday, tomorrow, we're doing some first edition Dungeons & Dragons. We're playing through the Desert of Desolation series. We're on Module 2, Classic D&D. Friday, some BX Dungeons and Dragons, even more classic, playing in the Mystara universe. This Saturday, on the official Goodman Games channel, I'm running some Weird Frontiers, which is a horror western using the Dungeon Crawl classic rules.
Very cool. As for us here, Friday, I don't know what we're doing. We just got back in town late last night, so we'll figure it out. We'll probably do something. Saturday, we'll be doing we'll back to One Ring like normal, so One Ring 2nd edition. Next Monday in this slot, I think we're doing Deadlands. We'll check in on that later in the week. But yeah, that's what we're up to. Catch all of our other stuff up on YouTube, etc., etc. Follow everyone here, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you for everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you for I think we got a couple bits from Adam earlier on that unfortunately helped the players, which I disapprove of, but nonetheless, that is what we did. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and raid somebody else. If you want to hang tight and just follow that to whoever it is I can get. Hopefully Diesel Shot, I think, might still be up. But I'll put us on the end screen. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for the subs, too. Bye.
Bye.